Hello, you all. Hello, hello, hello. I want to shoot this quick video, right? Just want to drop this real quick video. So come in, hit that like and share button. Let me fix my necklace here. And I'm just in the parking lot. I'm about to return some things and get some things, and just have this on my mind, right? Because where we are entering into this economy is very serious right now. Where this economy is headed is very, very serious right now. And most people depend on external conditions to control their financial lives, right? Most people depend on external conditions to control their financial lives. And what I mean by that is, I was actually listening to a Papa Duck live stream, and he was saying that poor people are so easily to be controlled and manipulated because they've only been taught re- to rely on external conditions such as government and such as religion, right? So I'm going to break down a couple of things. I had some posts on Facebook that I saw, um, and one of the posts was about when Jesus instructed Peter to go fishing and to pay taxes, right? First of all, one of the questions that Jesus asked Peter was, does the king's children pay taxes, right? And Peter said, well, no. And Jesus responded that, well, in order so we don't offend them, meaning that the children, the king's children, a lot of people, when they are receive salvation, for example, or they're saying they are believers, they said they are the king's kids. So the very first thing, Jesus was great at asking questions. He was a master teacher. And so he always asks thought-provoking questions, and sometimes even rhetorical questions, right? So he asked Peter, does the king's kids pay taxes? And Peter said no. And he was telling Peter in essence, look, you really don't have to pay taxes because you're connected to me and my kingdom, right? But because we are in this earth realm, and I understand that the laws of the earth operate off of different laws and structure and not in my kingdom structure, we're not going to offend the laws of the land, and we're going to pay taxes. Now, if you know the history of taxes, of Peter and Jesus, Peter was in the red. Peter is a fisherman by trade, right? Peter was in the red in his business, and Jesus wanted to use Peter's platform, which was a boat, to preach his message, a gospel. I say this all the time. Jesus had the people following him. It says that it was a crowd of people following him. Jesus had the place that was by a seashore. Jesus had the prophetic word. I'm going to say it's prophetic because the Bible said it was a crowd of people following him. So it had to be a very powerful word. But Jesus did not have the platform that he wanted, because Jesus did not want to speak. He wanted to speak deep into the seas, and so he asked Peter, "Can I leverage your boat, or can I use your boat?" Now, this is an entire lesson within itself. People, one of the things that the rich and wealthy people do is they leverage other people's time, other people's talents, other people's systems, and they leverage their credit, and they leverage OPM, other people's money. A lot of people have the mindset that if I'm debt free, that I can obtain financial freedom. Listen, I'm not against people transferring it or shifting that money from the banks that they're paying out in high interest loan through bad debt and bad credit, and shifting that money back into their household. But You don't have to throw the baby out with the bathwater, meaning that learn to leverage debt. Rich people use other people's money. See, what most people that struggle financially don't understand, or what they don't have a financial education or IQ about, is that you can leverage other people's money to invest in assets that will cash flow you in more money than the interest against the debt, or the OPM, or the bank's money, or the TBM. And so in doing that, right, it makes up for the time that you would have had to put in to get that same amount of money. So in other words, if it takes me 6 months, for example, of whether I'm selling products or whether I'm physically doing the work, um, to accumulate $20,000, but I can go to the bank in the matter of a day and then get a $20,000 loan. I have just leveraged the bank's money, and I've just leveraged my time, right? Because the whole purpose of financial freedom is to buy your time back. Because for a long time, I thought time is money, or time was money. But then I learned that time is more valuable than money, because I can never get my time back, right? And so the whole purpose of financial freedom is to buy back your time. You do that through leverage. You can go and ask any homeless person, does debt freedom means financial freedom? And they'll tell you no. A homeless person is not necessarily in debt. They don't have debt. They probably don't even have a credit profile. But that does not equivalent or equal to financial freedom. So what you want to do is use these biblical principles like 2 Kings chapter 4, that Elijah told the widow woman to go get credit to get you out of bad debt. Her debt was so bad that when her husband died, her two sons, that represents a legacy, right? That represents a legacy. The number two, divine connections. Her two sons, her legacies, who she was supposed to pass on generational wealth to, were about to be sold into a system to work for somebody else. So, in other words, Elijah told her to teach your sons, your legacy, to be entrepreneurs and not employees. And he did that through a home-based business. So, likewise, when it was time to pay taxes, Peter said, do we pay taxes? You know, God, we're connected to you, and we know that we are in another kingdom. God said, yeah, but, we got to respect the earth. We got to respect the laws of the land. I'm in the earth realm right now. We're operating out of earth realm. We're not going to do tax evasion. So, yes, pay taxes, Peter, but let me give you a tax strategy. Another reason why people do not accumulate or have financial freedom in life is because not only do they not leverage credit the right way, but they don't have tax strategies. See, if you are an employee, 30% of your paycheck, right? Look at FICA. If you live in a state and then your state taxes come out of your paycheck, those are the first two entities that get paid first. Look at your paycheck. Some people haven't looked at their check stub in years. Maybe they have direct deposit. Maybe their job set it up online where you have to put in a username and password, and people just don't take time to look at it. And if you don't take time to study your money won't take time to study you. Which means money leaves people that doesn't understand how it works. Right? And so with that being said, now the very first thing that comes out of your paycheck is federal taxes, in some cases state taxes, right? Okay, that's 30% off the top. Every dollar that you earn, 30% comes. Most people don't have a financial education that if you went into business, even as an employee, even if you have a job, that 30% can be shifted back to you. Hey Gwen, how you doing, hon? Look, you all, if I have a little slur going on in my live stream, I just got some dental work did. You probably can see the swelling a little bit. but just roll with me on this. I want to get this out. Most people don't know about by adding the home-based business, especially that I'm affiliated with. Not all home-based businesses do this. Some home-based businesses push you to sell products. I don't do that, right? I'm not affiliated with home-based. I'm affiliated with home-based businesses that are with this business that's going to help you improve your credit, because bad credit means you're paying out high interest to somebody else, and you need to learn to become your own bank. You need to learn how to pay yourself instead of operating our bad credit and paying the banks. That's why banks are one of the biggest buildings. You see big banks and small houses. The biggest buildings in the biggest cities that you ever want to travel, right? And so with that being said, God told Peter, just like Elijah told the widow woman, that you need to go into business. And the thing with Peter, he was already a fisherman by trade. So God was telling Peter, go back to the source, go back to your purpose, go back to your skill set, go back to your trade, in which I help you get out of your money problems in the first place. See, some people are out of their area. They're not operating their purpose. They're not operating in their business skills. They're not operating in whatever they're supposed to operate in life. So God told Peter, the same way I got your business out of the red the first time when I told you to cast your net into the deep, your nets, rather, he told them nets. Go to your skill set. Are you operating in your skill set? Every day you get up, are you doing what you are purposed to do in life? When you're not doing that, more than likely you're going to have a money problem. Number two, if you're not in business, you're going to have tax problems. And number three, if you're not leveraging credit to get out of debt, you're going to have a debt problem, like the widow woman in 2 Kings chapter 4. You can leverage other people's money, skills, systems way more than you can do things solo. The other thing, so people, this is really not about miracle money in the Bible. I know religion has taught you that. No, Jesus was giving Peter, number one, a lesson about being in his place of purpose and recognizing that his money lies in his skill set. And for some of you all, just like money was found in the fish mouth, money can be found in your mouth if you will open up and tell people about whatever business you're affiliated with. If you will start speaking positive things out of your mouth that you want to see happen and occur in your life, then you can attract money too, out of your own mouth. And so most people don't look at the Bible in the metaphorically. Jesus even told you, I speak in parable way that it should be looked at. They look at it as this mystery book, and that some type of way, they don't look at it as practical skills that they should be applying in their life. I say it like this. They rely on external sources. This whole scenario of Peter was a tax strategy, and Jesus telling Peter, stay in your place of commerce. Another thing I want to bring out, I saw this this clip of Baby Boy, right? I saw this clip off of the movie Baby Boy with Tyrese. And Tyrese was talking to his friend, and he asked his friend, man, why, I see why we're broke, right? And his friend, I forgot his name, but he went on to say, what do you mean, man? And Tyrese said, look around. This is on Baby Boy. His name wasn't Tyrese and Baby Boy, but he said, look around, man. Everything is moving. Everybody is moving. Everybody that's moving makes money. Let me say that again. He said in Baby Boy, everyone that's moved, everyone that's doing commerce, go back and watch Baby Boy if you didn't catch that episode, is making money. One thing about fish, for example, fish move. They're swift. You have to be a skilled fisherman to catch fish. You have to know what bait to use. You have to know what rod to use in certain cases. You have to know what equipment, right? It takes a skill set. People, let me tell you something. If you don't add skill set to you to add into this world out here that's moving. I'm at Home Depot. People are moving. When people move, when you add skill sets, that's when your money move. Let me say that again. When you move, not when Queen go live stream for you in the home-based business. When you move, when you post about your business, when you open up your mouth, when you tell people that you are in business, when you develop skill sets, when you make yourself valuable in the marketplace, in the commerce, that's when you'll find miracle money, right? That's when your money will grow. And when your money will grow, so does your tax strategies. See, people, when you have a 401k, for example, that's just tax deferment money, meaning that you're going to get taxed on that money in the when it's time for retirement. You're going to get taxed off the lump of it, the whole. You've been putting in the seeds, a little bit from your check, but you're going to get taxed and you're going to get commissions. So I help people through the home-based business grow tax-free money. We help people that have bad credit shift that credit, increase your credit, and leverage that credit now to get assets, not depreciating things. See, use your credit, people, to invest in assets. Don't use your credit to get liabilities and luxuries. Use your credit as leverage to get assets. Often too much, the only thing that most people that struggle financially use their credit for is to get liabilities and luxuries. A vacation that you can't afford, a name brand. And then, Gwen, you said you remember that scene. Another thing, Gwen, that he told him, he said, man, you're wearing 3 millionaires. I don't know what name brand clothing he had in on that scene in Baby Boy. I wish I could play it. I got my other phone here. But he said, you're wearing 3 millionaires on your back right now. That's a very deep scene. Some of you all wear millionaire clothes, but you don't have a millionaire mentality. That was good, wasn't it? Yeah, you don't have a millionaire mentality. You'll wear millionaires on your back, but you don't have a millionaire's mentality. And so let me break this down, and I'm gonna end this live stream. But there were times in the board. Okay, here it is. I'm gonna see if you all can hear it. Buyers and sellers. That pure cake, no butter, no sugar, Asiatic, straight like my brother's soul. Yes, indeed. 7-Up cake, we got pound cake, some of that pound cake. Yes, indeed, brother. There you go. Okay. Thank you, brother. You have a good day today. Salam. Today I begin a new life. For I am the master of my abilities, and today is going to be a great and beautiful day. What? I said, today I begin a new life. For I am the master of my abilities. And today is going to be a great and beautiful day. Pillows. Goose down, $35. Hey, you a buyer or a seller? What? Videos, homie. Videos, DVD, CDs, Master P, Charles Angels. Look at yourself. How many millionaires you got on, bro? I count at least 3. Man, what the fuck are you talking about? P, look around, man. You see what I see? I see money. Look at my man over there selling t-shirts. Brother over there selling pies and paper. Cake man over there. Everybody moving, making money, right? While we standing still being broke. I figured all this shit out, man. All this. This whole world moves forward through transactions. Commerce, nigga. The exchange of goods and services. All the real ballers Thank you, Jody and Sweet Pea. Thank you, Gwen. He said he figured it out. It's commerce. Now, the first thing that he did, Jody did, Tyrese, he spoke his positivity. Right? If I was at home on my laptop, and I may redo this live stream, right? I just had to stop what I was doing right now and get this message out. But he spoke. He said, today is the day that I master. He spoke it out of his mouth. Number one, what you think, what you think, what you see, what you speak. That's the first level. And then you have to strategize. Are you in business? Are you in commerce? People, if you want to get financial freedom, you're going to have to get good credit. You're going to have to leverage credit to get out of bad debt. This is 2 Kings chapter 4. You're going to have to open a business. Elijah told that woman to open a home-based business. Jesus told Peter to go into the marketplace. Go and do your skill set, your trade, to lower your taxes. He told Peter to operate under attack strategies. See, people that are connected with business, even if you work a job, you are taxed less. So the tax laws for people that's in business versus people that's just self-employed. And when I say business, let me emphasize this. It needs to be a business system, not a business job where you are self-employed or you're a small employee and you only get money if you're actively working. I'm not talking about trading a whole lot of time for a little bit of money. I'm talking about leveraging business systems. That's a whole nother level. You get taxed when you leverage business systems, people, as Jesus told Peter to leverage a business system, 10 to 20%. Why is that a big deal? Because that's less money going away from you that's going to the government. And if that's simple, basic math, you're not going to win if you cannot leverage your credit to get assets, if you're not going to leverage business systems. And the only time in the Bible, these times where Jesus taught tax strategies, he taught about operating in business commerce, operating your business skill set. 2 Kings chapter 4, open a home-based business, teach your sons to be employed entrepreneurs and not employees. And then Jesus came to Solomon and said, because you have asked for wisdom and knowledge to direct my people, I'm going to give you riches and wealthy. When you ask for wisdom and knowledge, the rich and wealthy will come if you act on it. And then the other time where money came in the Bible, as Leroy Thompson would say right here, money cometh, is through divine connections. See, Elijah and the 1 Kings 17 widow woman, again, she had one son, she had a legacy. But the Bible specifically said that the woman had 2 sticks. The Bible does not use numbers just, how do I want to say this? When the Bible uses numbers and shows you numbers, it's strategic. It means something. Numbers solve problems. That's why math is important. Numbers solve problems. Numbers unlock codes and secrets. They solve problems. That's why measurements and everything exists, right? And so 1 Kings 17, Elijah told the widow woman, she said, I have 2 sticks. 2 means divine connections. When you get your divine connection, when you get your mentor or mentors or when those come into your life, your financial situation will change and you'll stop starving. See, this lady was starving. She was starving. She had one last meal. And if you go back and read 1 Kings 17, it tells you that as long as Elijah and her stayed connected, she never ran out of meal or out of flour. Some of you all are not connected to mentors and mentees. Now, I'm going to make it real simple for you. How do you know that the person you're connected with is the person that's supposed to improve you financially? You all want to hear the answer? Your finances improve. Listen, anybody can dispute this. You can debate this with me or whatever. When I started reading for myself in the Bible, when people tithe, they tithe after they got the blessing. It was not a result to get blessed. Let me say that again. Tithing was done after the blessing. In Malachi chapter 3, after God gave the children of Israel the plot of land, he asked them to tithe 10% to the priest. Melchizedek and Abraham, after Melchizedek blessed Abraham, Abraham tithed to him 10%. But a lot of you all don't get the blessings because you don't give and you're not in divine connection. Because Luke 6:38 says, give and it shall be given. You don't have blessings because you're not doing the first prerequisite, which means to give. Everything in life requires an exchange of services. You can't tell me you don't need a mentor. You can't tell me, because if you didn't, everybody needs a divine connection that you're supposed to give into, whatever is laid on your heart. Don't think that your divine connection, you can cut it off when you get the finances, and you don't think that financial flow won't stop along with it. And some of you all cut off your relationships. And I'm going to be honest. If you are connected with someone and your finances have not improved, they are not your financial connection. Find somebody else. One thing that I strategized this year was who I was giving to. Because I started analyzing, I'm not receiving anything from you. I'm not receiving any knowledge. I'm not receiving any financial wisdom. In fact, I knew more about finances than the person I was giving to. So, and I had this conversation with the man of God yesterday that teaches kingdom economics. And he said this. He said, the Bible tells you to give. It tells you to give offerings. It tells you to tithe. I believe in tithing. Once you get the blessing, that way you'll know if you're connected with someone that'll help you attract your blessings. If you're tied to an organization and you're not getting blessings, then you need to tithe where you can get blessings. Because whenever you have divine connection, the blessings will flow. That's either a person or an organization, or alms giving to the poor. And when you give alms giving, there is no harvest in return. Now, like Cornelius in the book of Acts, when Cornelius gave alms to the poor, then the angels came to Cornelius and said, what can I do for you? God does reverence when you give down, when you give to the poor. It will attract God, but that strategy is not for you to receive unexpected blessings. You will get blessings from giving to the poor, like Cornelius. You will get the attention of God, of the infinite universe. But if you want to give for increase, you have to give someone, you have to say, what is it that they have on their life financially that I want? What is it that they are thriving in? What areas of wisdom financially? And listen, you can sow to that person, or you can buy their products, or you can be connected with them in business. But I started looking at who I was sowing seeds, who I was giving to, and I'm like, this person has nothing but liabilities. Why am I giving to them? And they don't have any financial wisdom. They don't have good credit. They don't know how to leverage their credit to get assets. They don't even have a mindset to get assets. They don't believe in teaching financial education. I'm not connected to anybody on the spiritual level that don't believe in those things, that's not teaching people these biblical principles. Because as Jesus told Peter, now, if you was, and then I hear a lot of people say, I'm in God's economy. But God's economy, people in this earth realm, use government's money. Let me say that again for my deep and spiritual people. I operate out God's economy. Yeah. But that's what Jesus taught Peter. Even in my economy, when we're in this earth realm, we're going to use government money strategy. And this is government money. And so even God's economy, until you get out of this physical body, you better learn to connect with people that can help you get government money in God's economy. Now, do I believe that God works in mysterious ways and he can bless you? Yes, I do. I do. I believe that. But you have to have divine insight and divine connection through partnership. Elijah and the widow woman in 1 Kings 17 was not about she gave her last meal to a prophet first. She let the prophet eat first. That message was a message of divine feminine and divine masculine, and that you must be in divine connection, just like the message of Peter and Jesus. Find your mentors on this earth. Find people that speak money language. If all people are bragging about around you is their assets, I don't care if they're your pastor. I don't care if they're driving a Maybach, Rolls Royce, if they're wearing tailored suits as your pastors. If your churches are not communicating with you about financial education and assets and teaching you how to better the 90% of your money, then your 10% is just whatever. Because if you get a 10% and you don't do right with the 90%, you're just going to be a broke tither. Because God says, the heavens I have given unto mankind. God was showing Peter, yeah, we're going to obey the laws of the land. I know I'm God, but hey, we in this earth realm. We're going to pay taxes, but I'm just going to teach you the tax strategies. So people, depending on external conditions, government, religion, learn how to be led by the Spirit of God. That's what Solomon, he said, Lord, I'm asking you for wisdom and knowledge. Learn how to have your communication with God every day. He'll direct you where to go, where to sow, who to give to, who to stop giving to, what business to connect with. But let me tell you, I don't care what products you sell. If you want to keep the money that you're flipping or you're making, or whatever your side hustle is, you better have your credit always intact. And you better have tax credit to keep the money you're making. Because one thing I hear deca millionaires and billionaires talk about all the time, from Kevin Hart to Steve Harvey, is about how they got in IRS trouble. I don't care what you're doing. If you don't learn tax credits and tax strategies as an employee, and you go into entrepreneurship and don't know it, you're just digging a bigger hole for yourself when it comes to the IRS. So people, you got to learn how to manage your money. You got to learn how to maximize your money. And the only way to maximize money is through tax strategies. So let me read some of these and I'm signing out. It's all about individual success and stunting on other people in this society. Everybody wants to be a chief, but no. That's right, Red Star. And Matthew 25 teaches us that everybody don't have the same skill set level. Everybody has to stay under mentorship and teaching, but just recognize the right kind. Matthew 25 said one had 5 talents, one had 2, the other had 1. The master recognized out of all of the workers who were the highly skilled one and who was not. So if you don't think you need divine connections in this world, you're absolutely wrong. But be able to recognize the truth from the fake. Be able to recognize what churches really do give back to the community. Which one? Be able to recognize where your tithe is going if you're tithing. You should have knowledge of that. Are we feeding the poor? Do we have a food program? Are my tithes going to the widowless? Because the widow women, that's what the Bible says. Is it going back to the fatherless children? or is the only thing I ever hear my tithes is going to is, you know, and hey, I get it. I know like I tell people, church bill need government money too. I know tithes is going to be going to the operations of the church and utilities and things like that. I'm not dumb, but it should not be going all of it to the personal, um, you know, items that the pastor or, you know, if it's just going to the church operations, to the pastor's car note, tailor suits, and that's it. My tithe doesn't go to operation like that. I'm sorry. If that's where you want to send it, that's fine. Um, Angela says, preach your truth. Thank you so much, Angela. Hey, Queen. That's why that's with most churches, they don't teach about finances. But there are some churches that do. But like I said, if you give the 10%, and in defense of some churches, most congregations, all of them don't give anyway, right? Only like 10% of the people support the church. Tithers, you don't have many tithers in church anyway. That's first of all, and that's why a lot of people struggle financially. Because you're always supposed to have some type of mentorship that you're honoring, some mission bigger than yourself that you're giving into, even at a 10% level. So I do realize that it's only 10% of the congregation that tithe anyway. But my message to people is to recognize where and who you're supposed to be connected with, so that you can receive the blessings and that you can now continue to get bigger blessings to tithe off of. Some people are not giving bigger blessings because, number one, they're not giving, and then or they're giving to the wrong places or people. I believe you can tithe to the network marketing company. I believe the right network marketing company is somewhat of a tithe, and some people call it pyramid schemes or whatever. But if you are tapped in and your mentor is teaching you and pouring into you and having private Zooms, and you just want to hop on the private Zooms and get inspiration, motivation, mindset shift, and you cancel your subscription in network marketing business, that's not legally, morally, or ethical, right? If you want to sell products, that's fine. But if you have a leader who's pouring into you and helping you become not only better with your money, but with your mindset, and you tuning in on the Zooms, it's a lot of great network marketing leaders, just like in the church system. It's good ones and it's bad ones. And you cancel your subscription to the business, but you still hopping on the Zooms and getting your mindset motivated. I think that's robbery. I think that's illegal. You're supposed to feed what feeds you. Cortez says Gator shoes. But all I'm saying, well, I don't have a problem with churches asking for money for building funds, as long as you know where your money is going to. If they say we have a $50,000 building fund because we want to improve and enhance the church and we want church growth, I have no problem with that. Just let me know where my money is going. I don't think a church is supposed to, or a pastor is supposed to represent God looking poor. Jesus was never poor. They ripped his robe when it was time to crucify him. And Jesus didn't have poor people around him. All Jesus' people around him were business people. They were not religious people. Jesus had business people around him. So I don't think you're supposed to represent God looking poor. I wouldn't even want to give to a pastor that looks poor, honestly. But just show me where the money is going outside of your wardrobe or your vehicle or the church bills. And we good on that end. Just show me what missions you got going on outside of that, and I'm good. But I don't want to follow a broke pastor. Why? Because Jesus wasn't broke. And he didn't have broke people around him. Just let me know that the money is being used in more than one area and that you're going to teach financial wisdom, because it's so much financial wisdom in the Bible. Over 800 scriptures. In fact, the Bible talks about money and money management more than it does salvation. So y'all, let me finally get into Home Depot. I've been out here 40 minutes on this live stream. So hey, I just want to, share that with you. If this help you in any way, make sure you like it, hit the thumbs up, share the content, and you all have a great Friday.